science, according to me. I don't like grandma stories. Okay, storm. Violent flow, wind and all these things are known as storm. The wind is flowing at a violent speed, at a much more than normal speed, and it is causing a little bit of damage, so that is known as storm. ये tropical areas में बहुत ज़्यादा होता है. End of the day, you should remember one thing. Whenever there will be a low pressure zone created, there will be winds which will come from high pressure zone. High pressure to low pressure air flows. So whenever that air pressure will flow from airflow will happen from high to low, it will cause what is known as a breeze. And if this breeze is much more than the normal way we actually feel it, हम इसे धीरे धीरे storm बोलना शुरू करते हैं. Storm is when rainy seasons happen. तो अब ये देखते हैं एक और चीज को. तो let's say वही बात आ गई, like the roof of the house, ये stories आ जाता है. The roof of the house. So when storm is happening, winds are blowing at a very high speed. ठीक है, यहाँ पे wind blow कर रहा है, and wind is blowing at a very high speed. So whenever winds blow at high speed, they're pushing the air from this place. Do you agree? So जैसे air, यहाँ पे जो air है उसको वो push करके ले जाएगा. It will void this place of air. Is that clear? So once the air becomes void, then what is created? A zone of low pressure will be created. So on the roof there is low pressure. However, नीचे तो कुछ नहीं हो रहा है ना. नीचे अभी भी high pressure zone ही created हो गया. Means, see, it is not like, children, it is not like that high pressure has been created. There was equal pressure and you disturb the top layer pressure by reducing it. So automatically automatically the bottom pressure will become high. Is this getting inside your head or not? You have not created high pressure. You have created low pressure. As a result, the pressure on the roof inside the house is now high. Are you understanding? Let's keep 10 rupees on my trouser pocket and 10 rupees on my shirt pocket. I am not making myself rich, but I have taken out 8 rupees from my shirt pocket. And I am saying that my trouser pocket has become richer, which it actually is now. That is 10 rupees and this is 2 rupees. But I did not make this rich. I made this poor. You reduce the pressure here. As a result, the pressure here as compared to this is now more. समझ में आ रहा है? So you have high pressure from below the roof and low pressure from above the roof. What do you expect? The roof to be, and if the roof is not bolted properly, which in coastal areas and say poorly constructed huts and in the areas where you have rural establishments, you don't expect people to have very hard fastenings on their roof. It's not an RCC roof. RCC is reinforced cement concrete, which is like us. They'll have tin sheets or PVC sheets, just like our podium parkings. Have you seen? Our podium parkings also, the sheds fly away. Have you seen or not? Right? Last year it happened in and around P Tower, all the sheets had blown away. So that's the same thing. Air above the podium parking sheet has blown away in a high speed, so created low pressure, and air below is at higher pressure. So higher pressure is now exerting a pressure, and they are just on some bolts, not that secure. And it opens up. Is this understood? Okay. Now, as these storm winds go, okay, so we have understood that there is a low pressure zone, there is a high pressure zone, and from high pressure to low pressure, what is happening? Immediately, the winds are blowing from high pressure to low pressure, and the low pressure area is created because air is getting heated up and air is rising up, right? This rising up air will have water vapor और moisture in it. क्या रहेगा? Water vapor और moisture रहेगा इसके अंदर. ठीक है? ये ऊपर जाते जाते जैसे ऊपर चला जाता है, यहाँ पे हो जाता है low temperature. Low temperature. So these water vapors will become what? They will become ice droplets. Ice droplets or ice drops, and this temperature will be even below 0 degrees also, 0 degrees Celsius, जैसे जैसे वो ऊपर चला जाता है, and these water vapors will become ice drops. This is the reason of formation of what we known as clouds. They will form clouds out here. So what is a cloud? A cloud is a formation of water vapor. Cloud actually water vapor है, और water vapor कैसे form में है? Very chilled water vapor. So water vapor is gaseous form. आप इसको जैसे चिल करना शुरू कर दोगे तो पहले वो लिक्विड होगा, और ज्यादा चिल करेंगे तो कैसा हो जाएगा? it will be almost in the form of ice. Either it can be in the form of ice or it can be in the form of water droplets which are at very very low temperature. इतना समझ में आया? ठीक है. And at very low temperature, so we have what? Can have water or we can have ice droplets. And water or ice droplets, and these will be at a very low temperature. Understood? Now there is a nice thing that happens as the air is moving up. जैसे जैसे air ऊपर move करता है, these airs will be brushing up. The air is carrying what with it? The air is carrying moisture. Moisture in the form of what? Water vapor. Is this understood? That water vapor air will be brushing across this particular cloud. Brushing means friction will be generated, and as a result what will happen, the upper portion of the cloud, now this is beyond your scope, you will not understand, the upper portion will, where the lighter part is there, they always develop what is known as a positive charges will be developed in the upper portion. समझ में आ रहा है? क्लाउड्स में यही फॉर्मेशन होता है. और बॉटम पोर्शन में कैसा हो जाएगा? नेगेटिव चार्जेस विल बी फॉर्म्ड. लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड दिस वंस अगेन. Land gets heated quickly. As land is getting heated quickly, hot air is rising up. When this hot air rises up, this hot air is carrying with it what? Moisture. And this moisture is in the form of water vapor, और इसको लेके वो चला जाता है higher altitude पे. ओके अर्णव बेटा म्यूट कर लीजिए ना. हायर ऑल्टीट्यूड पे चला जाता है. जैसे ही हायर ऑल्टीट्यूड पे जाता है, टेम्परेचर हियर इज वेरी वेरी लेस. So these water vapors now start condensing. And they condense in the form of ice or water droplets and form clouds. समझ में आ रहा है? ये normal phenomenon है. यही जब rainy ज़्यादा गर्मी हो जाता है and there is very rapid movement of wind and all, then these are normal clouds. Then there is one more class of clouds which are called storm clouds. Storm clouds are the dark clouds that you see during the rain formation है, या black clouds. उसमें और भी ज़्यादा water droplets formation हो गया है. And as the cloud itself converts to the storm cloud. See, clouds will be there on any normal day. So a cloud has got water droplets which are there. These water droplets, when they become very heavy and they are unable to hold there, they will pour on land. That pouring can happen in three forms, either in the form of snow or hail or water. Generally हम water के form में देखते हैं. Water के form में देखने से हमें क्या देखने को मिलता है? Rainfall देखने को मिलता है, right? क्लाउड बस्ट आएंगे अभी इसमें. सो वी विल सी इट इन द फॉर्म ऑफ, अभी क्लाउड बस्ट नहीं, अभी ये नॉर्मल क्लाउड है. सी नॉर्मली आल्सो रेन्स हैपन, बट दैट रेन वी वोंट से दैट बाहर मत जाओ, वेदर एकदम खराब है. दैट्स एंजॉयबल रेन. सो द फर्स्ट यू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज द क्लाउड कंप्राइजिंग ऑफ. द क्लाउड इज कंप्राइजिंग ऑफ कंडेंस्ड फॉर्म ऑफ वाटर वेपर इन द फॉर्म ऑफ वाटर ड्रॉपलेट्स or in the form of ice. बहुत high. When the water droplets ऊपर से जब नीचे आता है थोड़ा सा गर्म होता है, they become water droplets and they become very heavy, they can't hold, ये बरस जाएगा in the form of rain. Now it can actually fall in the form of rain, water, hail or snow. Hail and snow happens when there is huge temperature difference. ज़्यादा गर्मी के दिन में भी होगा, and at that time so much of low temperature it reaches that it is in the form of ice cubes. And in that form itself it starts falling down. So what you get is the form of hail. तो अभी हमारे को पहले समझना है क्लाउड. अब आते हैं स्टॉर्म क्लाउड्स में. स्टॉर्म क्लाउड्स होता है स्टॉर्मी वेदर में, when wind is blowing at a very very high speed. So that wind will keep on brushing with this cloud, and as it keeps brushing with this cloud, more and more charge is being created. So it forms something like this. There will be a dark zone of cloud. अभी dark इसमें आएगा. Okay, so I don't know whether if you can see. So there will be a dark cloud. ऐसा एक dark cloud रह जाएगा. Okay, and this is highly with what you call moisture and all other things. और इससे थोड़ा कम dark में भी you will have another cloud. And the storm clouds on the top will always be taking up what you call all positives. ऊपर लेयर में पॉजिटिव चार्जेस हो जाते हैं. ठीक है. सो हाँ, इसमें भी जैसे पॉजिटिव, हर क्लाउड में ऊपर में पॉजिटिव रहेगा और नीचे में नेगेटिव्स रह जाता है. हाँ, जिसमें ज्यादा नहीं. जब आपका स्टॉर्म क्लाउड है ना, तो इन स्टॉर्म क्लाउड द चार्जिंग इज वेरी वेरी हार्श, बहुत ज्यादा विगरस चार्जिंग हो जाता है. सो व्हाट इज क्लाउड? क्लाउड इज आल्सो कंटेनिंग एयर इन बिटवीन. सो दिस स्पेस ऑफ एयर now will basically ionize. Ionize का मतलब क्या है? Air is a very good insulator. Air is a very good insulator. Air does not allow electric current to pass through. Air is not a conductor. Insulators are those substances through which electricity does not pass through. Right? Pigeons and all. Pigeon रात को स्वेटर पहनता है क्या? नहीं पहनता है ना. तो फिर pigeon को ठंडा क्यों नहीं लगता है? Pigeon bones are hollow and they will have air inside it. Have you seen the concept of a wind cheater or the fluffy jackets that you wear? That will use fleece as well as air. Air is an excellent insulator. अगर air एक बार अंदर में घुस गया ना गर्म होके, आपको ठंडा लग ही नहीं सकता है. So the air is which is an insulator. It ionizes. Ionizes मतलब the insulation breaks. Air का insulation break हो गया. क्यों break हो गया? Heavy amount of charge separation has a lot of positive charge, lot of negative charge. They actually want to meet with each other. So in doing so, they will break this insulation. Do you understand? Like we say, rubber is a good insulator. Rubber पकड़ के अगर आप electricity को touch कराएंगे तो आपको shock नहीं लगता because rubber is an insulator. Similarly, there are many other insulators also. But insulators also have a limit. If you increase the current to a very high extent, the insulation is broken. That's why I don't know whether you have experienced, like after watching a TV, if you go and touch a curtain or something, touch करके आपके हाथ में spark करता है, होता है ना? So at that time, let's say this is your finger, and what is happening? The air in between the finger and the curtain, its insulation breaks because your body has become charged. Rays आ रहा है, the rays are brushing you, so your body becomes charged. Even if you wear dresses which are having lot of sequin, nylon, आप जैसे पहनते हो देखना body hair भी ऐसे move करना जैसा शुरू हो जाता है. You can feel that. Or else you are taking rayon blankets or other thing. Rayon blankets लेके बहुत ज्यादा पाँव हिलाते रहना तो देखना धीरे से वो blanket आपके body के hair को भी move करा रहा है. So this insulation breaks. As soon as this insulation breaks, a huge amount of spark discharge will be seen, and that is known as your lightning. समझ में आ रहा है ना? That is known as lightning. तो यहाँ पे क्या हो जाएगा? The insulation will break, and once you see this, so this will be known as your lightning. And this is one source of energy which we are not able to trap. अगर ऐसा 5-6 लाइटनिंग आप ट्रैप कर दोगे तो आप आपके शहर के पूरे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी डिमांड को मीट कर सकते हो फॉर अ ईयर. ह्यूज अमाउंट ऑफ वोल्टेज विल बी क्रिएटेड, बट दिस इज स्टैटिक इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. वी डोंट नो व्हेन इट विल हैपन एंड यू कैन कनेक्ट वायर्स टू इट. Right? Now, the type of lightning that you see between cloud layers, even between layers of cloud also it can happen. Like this is a negative, this is a positive. There can be, if the charge buildup is enough to ionize the air, you can have a lightning here also. This lightning is known as sheet lightning. ये word आपने बुक में है नहीं है, आप जान के रखो. This is called a sheet lightning. So have you seen lightning in between two cloud layers कभी रात को? It will be like a sheet. Got it? Now what more interesting happens is that when storm clouds build up, जैसे ये आपका एक storm cloud build up हो गया है, okay, and this is lethal also, मतलब जान जा सकता है इसमें और जाता है villages में. क्यों villages में वो भी बताएंगे. तो यहाँ पे आपका top end में हो जाएगा enough positive charge और यहाँ पे हो जाएगा negative. So if the clouds are at a very lower level, these negatives with induction will also create a positive on this particular roof surface. You know this induction? अच्छा, induction कैसा रहता है? मान लो there is a neutral balloon. So how is the balloon? The balloon has got plus, minus, all scattered. जैसे ही आप इसके पास एक मान लो एक डंडा ले आते हो और यहाँ पे only it's a positively charged डंडा. It's a positively charged. What the positive will do? The positives will push all the positives on one side. Are you getting it? Even without touching. So as a result, what we will see that this body will become charged. All the negatives will come on this side, and all the positives will be repelled on this side. हाँ, वो सब यही काम है. This is called not by that. उसमें you have contact. Here you don't have contact. This is by induction. You just bring the positive bar here, the positive bars will push all the positives. So when the cloud is at a very lower level compared to your roof height, then the cloud has a lot of negative charge. And this roof is neutral. means it has neutral, means it has both type of charges. So this negative charge is going to do what? It is going to push the negative charges of the roof. So what charges are going to appear? Positive charges will come. This is called polarization. आपने polarize कर दिया है. And now if this particular charge buildup increases, which does increase in Uttarakhand and all these areas, and then people say cloud burst, बादल फट गया है. So the air in between will lose its insulation, and what you will see is a huge burst. You will see is a huge burst of lightning. एक बहुत बड़ा lightning यहाँ पे आएगा, and this is known as fork lightning. Fork lightning. Whenever lightning happens between clouds, it is a sheet lightning. Whenever lightning happens between cloud and anything on the ground, और ये किसी भी चीज के ऊपर हो सकता है. Not necessarily that this will happen only on what? This particular house. It can even happen, and in villages this causes havoc. ऐसे कोई tree रहेगा ना, banana trees are very what you call prey to it. और हमारे टाइम में बचपन में बड़ा common है. Nobody is allowed to go outside. It will fall on this tree, and the tree will be turned to ashes in seconds. Ash pura. Arey, this is like heavy 1,000, 10,000, 1 lakh times higher voltage than what is in your house. गिर गया मतलब सड़क खत्म. अब सवाल आता है, ऐसे आप सुनोगे, बादल फटने के लिए 4 लोगों की मौत हो गई. Means those people got electrocuted.
Sir, it
will burst out. This cloud will burst out. Burst means, acha, now question arises that, sir, you told about lightning. There is something also called thunder. Thunder. So thunder is what? When the air insulation breaks, this air will actually expand, and this air will top करके फटेगा. The air expands due to the breakage of the insulation. Air is a good insulator. So the air will actually, when you are applying very high voltage across the air, there is a high voltage created. So the air will expand. As a result, the air will burst out, and the cloud will also burst out, creating what is known as thunder. And we all know light is faster than sound. So you will first see the lightning, and then light travels at 3 lakh kilometers per hour. Sound travels at only 233 meters per second. So lightning is seen. Otherwise, both are created at the same time. It's a release of energy, and the energy is being released in 2 forms: light energy and sound energy. But we hear the sound later. The reason why? Because light travels faster. On Diwali night, if you are at your balcony and somebody far away is bursting rockets, you will always see the rocket going up, bursting, and 2-3 seconds later you are hearing that thump sound. Actually, the sound and light is created at the same time, but we hear the sound later. Is this much clear? Question arises, ऐसा हो जाने से इंसानों को क्या हो सकता है? Well, if you are exposed outside and this happens, then you will be photo. No question about it. Usually, this is not a threat in cities, because in cities there are many more installations which are at a much more higher altitude than what your height is. Say, for example, if you are walking from one tower to another tower, there are big 13 towers out here. Those 13 towers will be the first prey for that lightning. Unluckily, between the 2 towers, if something goes and you are going in between them, then you are also gone. But imagine about those people like farmers and all who are in open lands and pastures and are doing farming. Typically, when we do rice farming, we need to do it before the rains set in. So उस टाइम पे अगर ये हो गया तो गया आप. अब सवाल आता है, what should we do? If first of all, if there is a storm going on, if there is a rain, you can go out. If a storm accompanied with rain is going on, please don't go out. Number one. If thunder or lightning is happening, absolutely do not go out at all, because there is every potential chance that you can actually get electrocuted. Second question arises that, sir, should I take shelter under some big towers or something? Preferably not, because that tower will catch the current. And at that time, if the air's insulation is broken, the tower, although made of cement and concrete, its insulation is nothing. It will kill you instantly. बड़े बड़े चीजों के आसपास मत रहिए. If you see a small tree, there are many large trees and there is a small tree, try to be under that small tree, because chances of the small tree getting hit by that lightning is less. Most good is if you are inside any vehicle. In grade 12, we'll study something called electrostatic shielding. If you are inside any vehicle, the vehicle will take up all the charge, nothing will happen to you. So your question should be, हाँ ले लेता है, आपको कुछ नहीं होगा. The vehicle will then ground it. The question arises, what happens to an aircraft? So when an aircraft flies, and aircraft तो बहुत speed में चल रहा है, winds उसके against में है, aircraft's body gets charged. The aircraft suffers so much of storm and lightning weather. So the aircraft comes completely charged, and the moment it touches what you call the runway, at that time it has got rubber tires. So the rubber tires are at that time not able to release the complete charge in the body. The first thing when the aircraft plugs is they will put a grounding cable on that aircraft. हमेशा रहेगा. कभी भी जब आप एक केबल, एक अर्थ केबल रहता है, वो ऐसे लगा के रखेगा एयरक्राफ्ट में. कभी भी एयरक्राफ्ट में रिफ्यूलिंग हो रहा है, आप सीढ़ी से चल रहे हैं, नेक्स्ट टाइम यू सी there will be one wire which will be attached to the aircraft body. If that is not attached, the aircraft comes with a lot of static charge inside it. Static charges are very dangerous. In fact, when you work in very micro electronics, you're working on the motherboard of a computer or you're working on precision electronics, then मेरे पास भी है, we have something called armbands. The armband will be tied on your arm because your body also has charge. Na? Suppose you're replacing the cell of your watch, this particular watch or that watch, you're replacing the cell. If you just go and touch the cell of your watch with your hands, you will damage the cell. It is always to be touched with tweezers. And tweezers should also not have any charge. So how should you open your laptop? And people will do with naked hands. Kuch hota nahi, but that is idiot way of working. The way to work with computers is that first thing, they will always make you wear a metallic strap on your body. There will be a strap. And that strap will be connected to a metal on the table. And it has got a telephone like wire. Your hand can move. So whatever charge is in your body, that charge is drained out. So in fact, if you go to any electronics factory, you just can't enter the room like that. So they will make you enter through a discharging shower. You know what is discharging shower? Before entering that room, there is a small lift-like cabinet. So you'll enter from one side, the door will close, and high burst of air will be blown over your body, so that whatever charge you are carrying, discharged. Everyone carries charge with them, and then you will be entering. And before that, they will also make you cover your hairs, and like chefs and all, when you enter chocolate factories, have you entered? Then you are not allowed to have your hair exposed, so they'll make you, because hairs get charged up. Acha, if you are replacing the RAM of your laptop at home, do not touch anything inside the laptop with your naked hands. If you don't have a strap, then the best thing is steel की थाली होती है ना जिसमें हम खाना खाते हैं. Put a steel thali on the floor and put your leg on that, foot on that thali, so that whatever, steel is a conductor, so whatever charges are there in your body, that should be discharged. Otherwise, there is every potential chance of you damaging that particular electronic device or that particular electronic element. Yeah.
When you make a case study, in which if you like rub two thermocol balls with each other and like put it them on same, if you drop it, like they will repair each other.
Yeah, because they develop charges. Two thermocols rubbed against each other, similar kind of charge will be there. And like charges repel, so they repel each other. Right. So from the perspective of old course, whoever is studying old course, there we have a concept called, we have a device called lightning conductor. Lightning conductor. Lightning conductors are there in every houses, every towers. In fact, in old days, if you see cinema theaters and all, any building which is tall, they will always have something called a lightning conductor. A lightning conductor is somewhat, even in our towers also we have a conductor like a trishul like this, right? And it will be connected with very heavy metal wire. It is there in all our buildings if you go to basement, and then it will be taken right below the ground, and salt and other things. So this is ground level, it will go to the ground. The idea is whenever lightning strikes, Since this is a conductor, it will catch the lightning. And at that time, don't have your televisions and other things switched off. During heavy lightning and other thing going on, there is a potential chance of that lightning to actually damage your internal wiring of your house also. So all off, right? So it will catch in this place and plug it out also during heavy. Nowadays we have got many foolproof systems of electrical safety, but when we were kiddos, it used to be very common. 3 or 4 houses, television gone. Why? Yesterday there was a stormy night, and we never had like all this internet-based television. We used to have antennas, so the house will actually have a television antenna like this. Wow, you are creating more damage, and this wire is coming and sitting inside your television screen. Okay, this is your television screen. So the lightning catches here, travels to here, and TV gone in one shot. So many people used to have a detachable system on this. So whenever it rains heavily, we used to unplug this wire as well as unplug the television from the main socket also. Because in our main socket, we all have this, right? This is known as earth. The earths are all connected to this wire. तो अगर इसमें आ जाएगा तो उसमें भी आएगा, and television का कटलेट बन जाएगा पूरा fried. The costly television will go. So, like, what is a lightning conductor? A lightning conductor is a device which is actually fitted on rooftops or terraces as a protection to the house. The lightning conductor, because of its height, will first arrest this electrical spark created due to the thunder and or the lightning, and will allow it to go to the ground rather than damaging the whole building. Lightning conductors, even all towers have lightning conductors. ऊपर में एक रहेगा, कौन सा? वो सब बीडिंग है स्टाइल मारने के लिए, वो लाइटनिंग कंडक्टर नहीं है, ठीक है? So question arises, what should you do in case of severe lightning? In case of severe lightning and storm, first of all, if possible, don't leave your house. ऐसे क्वेश्चन के आंसर्स जब देंगे ना, दिमाग से सोचिएगा. If it is storm and lightning, don't leave your house. Number one. Second क्या आ जाता है? If you are outside, immediately take protection. What is the best way to take protection? If you can get inside some house, please get inside. If you can get inside a vehicle, please get inside. Do not stand outside like a dada. Okay? And preferably, do not stand with taking support or lean on to any tall trees. Like betel nut, you know, supari. Those trees are very tall. Do not do that. उनके साथ तो रहना ही नहीं. If there is a shorter tree, be under that shorter tree. If you can get inside any sort of a vehicle and all, very good. If you are inside the house, what you should do? Preferably do not fiddle with electrical appliances. If electrical appliances are turned on, turn them off and completely isolate them from electrical sockets. Make sure that there is no connectivity and wait for it. So why does a storm happen? A storm happens due to whenever we are in a tropical weather, there will be a lot of heat generation. Heat will heat the land, and the land, air above the land will rise up. When the air above the land rises up, and this happens in a frequent manner, this air will be coming up with a very high speed. And when the speed is more than normal, we slowly start calling it a storm. It will be violent. And as this air is rising up, now this is an everyday practice, it carries moisture with it. And when it goes on top, it reaches zones which are very, very cold. And these cold zones will be having temperature in the range of around 0 degree. So these moistures will now condense, condense in the form of what? Ice or water droplets. This happens in a normal day also. And when the water droplets become very heavy and they are unable to hold, then this water droplets, वो कैसा है? गंदा एग्जाम्पल दे रहा हूं, लेकिन गंदे एग्जाम्पल से सब याद रहता है. छोटा बच्चा घर में डायपर पहनता है ना, तो डायपर में ही SU is going on in the diaper, right? But you don't take out the diaper just because the bachcha has done one SU. So bachcha will be doing 2-3 SU and is playing. Slowly you will see the whole diaper is hanging with the baby. And then when the baby is going and sitting somewhere, डायपर का भी तो एक लिमिट है ना एब्जॉर्ब करने का, डायपर स्क्वीज आउट कर दिया. ये बिल्कुल डायपर के जैसा काम कर रहा है ये स्टॉर्म, ये क्लाउड इज अ डायपर. At that time, what happens when the water droplets become very heavy, means child has done enough amount of peeing on this, then it will come down in the form of rain on normal day. But if suppose temperature difference is very high, and the water droplets are not from condensation point to increase in temperature, the ice droplets are no more converting into water, they fall as ice flakes, that is known as hail. और भी ज्यादा ठंडा हो गया तो क्या हो जाएगा, वेरी कोल्ड प्लेसेस में स्नोफॉल होना स्टार्ट हो जाता है. स्नोफॉल इज ऑल्सो फॉर्म ऑफ रेनफॉल और प्रेसिपिटेशन, ओनली दैट. कौन सा? हेल और स्नो अलग है. हेल हमेशा गर्मियों की जगह पे होगा, स्नोफॉल कोल्ड एरियाज में होता है, वहां पे पानी आएगा ही नहीं आपका. गॉट इट? पानी आने का कोई चांस ही नहीं है. Everything is much below the temperature, what you call ambient temperature is below 0 degrees Celsius. This is the story of a cloud. Now what is a storm cloud? When stormy weather prevails, the clouds will be brushed across by what? These rising winds, and the rising winds have moisture. These moistures brush against the cloud and charge them much more than normal. As a result, they will become heavily charged. Top layer will always be positive, bottom layer will always be negative, and the color of these clouds will be dark. So, and it is not one cloud, there will be cloud, layer between cloud, lot of layers. So always the top layer is positive, bottom layer is negative. When the charge is pretty much very high, then the air zone in between them, which causes a sort of insulation, the insulation breaks due to the high charges. Charges want to meet each other. Air क्या कहता है? दुश्मन जमाना, मिलने नहीं दूंगा तुम लोगों को. तो यहां से भी बहुत बड़ा फोर्स आ रहा है, यहां से भी बहुत बड़ा, तोड़ दो, तो एयर का इंसुलेशन ब्रेक हो जाता है. व्हेन एयर लूजेस दिस इंसुलेशन, air ionizes, causing a massive spark. That massive spark is known as lightning. And when you see the lightning between two layers of clouds, it is known as sheet lightning. एक sheet की तरह होगा. And this lightning causes the air also to expand and explode, which causes the thunder that you hear. And you hear the thunder later because sound travels at a lower speed as compared to light. इतना समझ में आया? Now, while there can be between two layers of cloud, there can be that there are layers of cloud above your house. तुम्हें पसंद नहीं करता है? And this can be a house in some agricultural land in say a place like Uttarakhand where there is heavy rainfall that happens, right? बोलते हैं ना, बादल फटने के लिए नैनीताल और अल्मोड़ा के रास्ते बंद हो गए. ये सब आपको खूब सुनोगे, अभी कुछ दिनों बाद ही आने वाला है. So what happened in Badrinath and Kedarnath and all. So there will be a house and there will be lot of clouds which will scatter around it. As a result, the cloud's bottom portion, which is negative, now induces a positive charge on the roof of the house. फिर ये और ये मिलना चाहते हैं. दुश्मन कौन है? The air in between them. So lightning will strike. Now this lightning will be in the form of fork lightning. ऐसे करके गिरेगा. So सिर्फ प्रतीत के घर पे नहीं गिरेगा. प्रतीत बाहर निकला था नेचर कॉल एड्रेस करने के लिए, क्योंकि ये विलेज है ना, टॉयलेट अंदर नहीं भी हो सकता है, तुम बाहर गए थे.
तो मुझे एग्जांपल देना,
हाँ, तुम्हारा एग्जांपल डालना बहुत जरूरी था, क्योंकि जैसे ही आप नेचर कॉल एड्रेस करने बाहर गए थे तो आप धो ही नहीं पाए, धो लिए अपनी जिंदगी पूरा, तो यहाँ से इतना ज्यादा हवा गया. हाँ, तो बनाना ट्री और जहां पे भी जाओ इतना ज्यादा लाइटनिंग होगा कि यू आर गॉन. नाउ प्रिकॉशंस, ये बहुत सवाल आता है चिल्ड्रन, व्हाट टू डू इन, नेम 2 preventive measures to be taken in the case of lightning and stormy weather. First of all, if possible, stay indoors. If you are outdoor, do not take shelter under tall structures. Take shelter always under small structure, because a tall structure will be a bigger victim. क्या हो गया निविता, इतने हंस रही हो? The tall structure has more chances to be a victim. याद रहेगा ना, देखो अबे डायपर कॉन्सेप्ट से तुम क्लाउड को कभी भूल ही नहीं सकते हो कि क्लाउड से पानी कैसे गिर जाता है ना, वो डायपर कॉन्सेप्ट है. सो क्लाउड को, हाँ क्या हो गया, सॉरी. हाँ, सो इफ यू आर इन आउटसाइड, टेक शेल्टर अंडर व्हाट? टेक शेल्टर अंडर अ स्मॉलर ट्री. इफ पॉसिबल, गेट इनसाइड अ व्हीकल. दैट्स द बेस्ट. ये आप 12 में पढ़ोगे, दिस इज नोन एज इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक शील्डिंग. इनफैक्ट छोटे छोटे इलेक्ट्रॉनिक डिवाइसेस को प्रोटेक्ट करके रखने के लिए वेरी माइन्यूट इंटीग्रेट कहाँ रखते हैं पता है? मेटालिक बॉक्स के अंदर रखते हैं. मेटालिक बॉक्स के अंदर द मेटल विल टेक अप ऑल द लोड, अंदर कुछ होने नहीं देगा. देयर विल बी, मेटल को होगा वो पूरा चार्ज हो जाएगा, लेकिन वो अंदर कुछ होने नहीं देगा. इट्स लाइक एन ऑयस्टर. ऑयस्टर के अंदर जैसा पर्ल रहता है ना, वैसा रहेगा. डैमेज नहीं, मेटल डैमेज नहीं होता है, मेटल इज चार्ज. अभी इसके जैसा कोई चोर जाके अगर उस मेटल को ऐसे पकड़ लिया, छटाक करके शॉक खाएगा वो. मैं बोल रहा हूँ, मतलब एग्जाम्पल.
मेटल मतलब
मेटल केसिंग,
नहीं मेटल
जैसे ये ग्लोब है, ये ग्लोब मेटल का है ना, इसके अंदर जाके बैठ जाओ इफ यू कैन इन लाइटनिंग एंड आई कीप इट आउटसाइड, 1000 lightning falls on it, nothing will happen.
मेटल कुछ डालेंगे
मेटल उतना जल्दी बर्न नहीं होता उसके, मेटल इज ए कंडक्टर ना. These people, cement, trees, they are not conductor, they are bad conductors or insulators. They don't allow current to pass through them, but the current will pass at a huge gush. मेटल तो कहता है जाओ मेरी तरफ से, हम मेटल जाइए जाइए साहब, बिल्कुल. वो बड़ा बड़ा कोई कोई मूवीज में देखे हो, some big villains come, then there are 2 or 3 हवलदार एकदम चुपचाप रहता, जाइए सब. हाँ, वो ऐसे वैसे जाने चला देगा उसको, वो कुछ नहीं करेगा. मेटल इज लाइक दैट. If you try to, they are ones who will be showing objection to metals, to electric current. So their insulation is ripped apart. वो ऐसा है, जीप लेके आ जाता है, तुम्हें मेरे लाश के ऊपर से गुजर के जाना है, अच्छा जाएगा तुम्हारे लाश के ऊपर से गुजर के. समझ में आया? तो अभी this is the story of storm, lightning, thunder, and one more thing that we studied, which will be there in the old course, whoever is studying. What is a lightning conductor? A lightning conductor is a metallic device which is fixed, or it's not fixed, the better English is installed at the roof or terraces of tall structures. अभी तुम्हारे घर में एक छोटा सा एक हट है, डॉग का कैनल बनाया, उसमें लाइटनिंग कंडक्टर डालने की कोई जरूरत नहीं, क्योंकि उससे पहले लाइटनिंग विल स्ट्राइक समथिंग एल्स. और अगर इतना के बाद भी तुम्हारे डॉग के घर में लाइटनिंग आया ना, तो उस दिन उसका मौत लिखा था, इसलिए आया. बिकॉज there are many ways in which the lightning will strike, and if the lightning has hunted and come and hit that small puppy home, then it was his D-Day. You can just understand. So when you have tall structures like apartments, skyscrapers, in our days we used to have cinema theaters which used to be very tall. So those will all have lightning conductors. It's a metallic device and it is installed right at the roof terrace and grounded by thick copper wire. This is a thick copper wire. सुन के रखो. And it flows right to the ground. In the eventuality of a lightning strike, it will first strike the conductor. ठीक है ना? अच्छा, इसे इसको भी समझाता हूं. देखो, तुम लोगों ने सब पानीपत टाइप मूवीज देखा होगा ना, जब राजा लड़ने जाता है, थर्ड बैटल ऑफ पानीपत और समथिंग. You have seen. So sometimes the king is actually fighting with some other person, and secretly one enemy soldier will try to kill the king. Have you seen? पीछे से बैक से या साइड, तभी कोई एक सेनापति को महाराज करके आके पहले तलवार खा लेगा इससे. ये लाइटनिंग कंडक्टर वैसा महाराज है. एक होता है ना, तुमने मेरे लिए अपनी जान दे दी. एक होता है ना, कभी कभी देखना हिंदी मूवीज में हमेशा लड़के हीरो का जो माँ होगा ना, सफेद साड़ी पहन के बेटा करके ढिचके उसके पेट में आ जाता है. तो ये लाइटनिंग कंडक्टर वैसा ढिचकाओं वाला है. वो क्या करे. ऐसा एक और चीज है जिसे हम 10th में पढ़ाते हैं, फ्यूज. घर में जो फ्यूज होता है ना, फ्यूज विल ब्लो ऑफ टू प्रोटेक्ट योर सोनी ब्राविया टीवी. अब सोनी ब्राविया कौन है? महाराज. और फ्यूज कौन है? वो छोटा सा कौन, सिपे सालार. सो पीछे से इलेक्ट्रिक करंट आ रहा है, कौन? रेयांश. ऐसे आके महाराज को मारने आएगा, ऐसे ऐसे करके मारने आता है, तो फ्यूज बीच में आके महाराज करके, महाराज देश है तो हम हैं, आपके लिए देश आजाद रखिए. महाराज मर गया. सो फ्यूज सैक्रिफाइसेस इट लाइफ to protect a much more bigger device. समझ में आया ना? Similarly, lightning conductor will be the first one. ये सबसे पहले जाएगा. मैं जाके देख के आता हूँ. If you see Ramayan, there is an episode in Ayodhya में जब हनुमान पहुंच जाता है ना, हनुमान is lightning, so he'll be damaging Ashok Vatika, eating fruits and creating ruckus. So Ravan will be sending one by one. First Ravan sends his son Akshay Kumar. हाँ, रावण का पहला बेटा जो मारा जाएगा उसका, ये तो हंसते हो ना, तुम लोग को स्टोरी नहीं पता. अक्षय कुमार इज द सन ऑफ रावण. ही विल, हाँ, अक्षय जिसने, अब तुम सुंदरकांड सुनो, हंसते क्यों हो? नहीं है, नहीं है. अक्षय उसका नाम है, रावण के बेटे का अक्षय कुमार है, कुमार. तो वो आएगा सबसे पहले. एंड he will fight with whom? वो जाएगा पिताश्री, मैं ही उस वानर को देख के आऊंगा, आपको कष्ट करने की जरूरत. वो लाइटनिंग कंडक्टर बन के गया था. तो जाके क्या हुआ, उसने करंट ले लिया हनुमान जी का, तो वो हो गया. नेक्स्ट गोज इज इंद्रजीत और मेघनाथ, who will actually bring हनुमान, and then he will burn लंका. That is how the story goes. पढ़ो, इसलिए माइथोलॉजी पढ़ो. अक्षय है, सुंदरकांड को सुनोगे तो वहां भी इस नाम का, हाँ। अगर नहीं है ना तो कल तुम्हारा बैग मैं कैरी करके बस स्टैंड तक ले जाऊंगा, ठीक है? तो समझ में आया? So lightning conductor will be the first one to bear the brunt of that lightning, and due to its thick copper, see, electric current always tries to flow where there is least resistance. ये normal है. Suppose I ask you, go to Gachibowli, how will you go? Will you go by ORR or will you go by service road? Obviously ORR, because you feel less resistance, less traffic. Current also would like to go by the less resistance road. So the less resistance is, ये कंडक्टर है ना, इससे करंट ट्रेवल करके जमीन के नीचे चला जाता है और आपका जो सुंदर ग्राउंड हो गया, इट हैज टू बी डिस्चार्ज, एंड दिस पर्टिकुलर बिल्डिंग ऑफ योर्स इज प्रोटेक्टेड. विलेजेस में दिस इज अ वेरी कॉमन थिंग. थैच हाउसेस जो होता है ना गरीबों का, एकदम जल जाता है. ये कॉन्सेप्ट लोगों को नहीं पता. एंड देन हमारे घर के साथ ही ना बहुत बड़ा कटहल का पेड़ है. कटहल भी गया, पेड़ भी गया, घर भी गया, और घर के अंदर जो थे आप भी गए, एक साथ सब फिनिश हो जाता है. देन डेथ ऑफ कैटल, गाय वाय खूब मरते हैं, बाहर घूमते रहते हैं ना, स्ट्राइक हो गया, एंड इट विल बी बर्न्ड इन, मन लगे ऐश हो जाएगा 1 मिनट बाद. जाके कभी गूगल में टाइप करो थंडरस्ट्रक बनाना ट्रीज, फोटोज देखना कैसा है. ऐश ऐश, जाके ऐसे छुओगे ना, खचलम करके गिर गया पूरा. हाँ, कार्टून जैसा है, ठीक है. और एक टॉपिक हमारा रह जाएगा साइक्लोन, उसको अगले क्लास में करें. साइक्लोन इज वेरी इजी. साइक्लोन, सी अ ग्राफ आइडिया आई गिव यू. साइक्लोन विल ऑलवेज हैपन ऑन सी वाटर. जैसे सी वाटर गर्म हुआ, सो पानी ऊपर आना शुरू हो जाता है. हॉट एयर विल राइज अप, राइट, हॉट एयर विल राइज अप, एंड देन दिस गोज ऑन. मतलब इक्वेटर पे साइक्लोन ज्यादा होता है. धीरे धीरे देयर विल बी विंड्स ब्लोइंग, winds will blow. Whenever hot air goes, winds blow. Earth's rotation will also be there. Cyclone is something like you being fed lot of food and you are being taken on that giant wheel. इसके बाद जब तुम प्यूक भी करोगे ना, सिंगापुर के मर्लियन की तरह प्यूक करोगे, तो ऐसे आपको साइक्लोन में भी वैसा हो गया. So the air is having a wind and it starts moving in a whirl. And right at the center of the cyclone is known as the eye of the cyclone. वो लो प्रेशर जोन रहता है और उसके चारों, और इसका जो विड्थ होगा 10 to 20 किलोमीटर के आसपास होगा, और ये घूमता रहेगा. और जहां जहां घूमेगा, टॉर्नेडो हो गया, टाइफून्स कहते हैं हम हांगकांग एरियाज में, इट विल ऑलवेज हैपन ऑन सी वाटर. एंड इफ इन दैट 10 to 20 kilometers region, if the cyclone's epicenter or the eye should be known, suppose the eye is Piramcheru Lake and 10 kilometers is the cyclone's radius, तब तुम आ गए उसके. So if the cyclone is in with the sea, तुम्हें उतना इफेक्ट नहीं है. But if you are within that 10 to 20 kilometers, और इसमें कौन होता है, जैसे हम पहले न्यूज में सुनते थे, तटवर्तीय अंचल, कोस्टल एरियाज, मछुआरों को सलाह दी गई है कि वो मछली करने ना जाए. आंध्र प्रदेश के मछलीपट्टनम, उड़ीसा के ये जिलों में तीव्र गति से चक्रवाती तूफान है साइक्लोन. चक्र, हाँ, गाड़ी वाड़ी उड़ा सकता है, बिल्कुल. ट्विस्टर्स बोलते हैं जिसको, एक मूवी है, देख सकते हो आप, ट्विस्टर, उसमें सब उड़ा. बट साइक्लोन इज, इट विल बी स्टॉर्म, रेन एज वेल एज लो प्रेशर क्रिएशन, बट अक्रॉस अ मच मोर. उसको देखेंगे हम, व्हाई, हाउ साइक्लोन. बट टेल मी वन थिंग, आर यू नाउ क्लियर विद लैंड ब्रीज, सी ब्रीज, हाउ अ प्रेशर डिफरेंस क्रिएट व्हाट एयर टू फ्लो? आर यू फाइन विद हाउ अ स्टॉर्म हैपेंस, हाउ क्लाउड्स हैपन, हाउ स्टॉर्म क्लाउड्स हैपन, रेन कैसे गिरता है, डायपर कॉन्सेप्ट याद रखने का, थंडर कैसे होता है वो समझ में आया, शीट लाइटनिंग समझ में आया. फोर्क लाइटनिंग इज ऑलवेज क्लाउड एंड ऑब्जेक्ट, क्लाउड क्लाउड, शीट लाइटनिंग. और खुद को बचाने के लिए क्या करना है, मेरे क्लास में आना ही नहीं है. जिस दिन लाइटनिंग होता है उज़ैर की तरह घर में बैठ के क्लास करो.